Bruna Kajiya. I'm a kite surfer from Brazil and I ride for Arish, Mystic and Rebel. Yeah, I've been doing the PKA for a long time now. I'm the one that's competing today that has been one of the longest. I have, there's Aaron too, but he stopped for a bit. There's Gisela, she's also competing for a long time, but I think we are the ones that have been there for the longest. And it's very hard because there's a lot of pressure competing and you end up going to the same places, the same conditions, and sometimes that can get very tiring. But for me, the hardest part is like that we've been competing for so long and you look into the competition today and it hasn't changed much. And I think the riders improved so much. We all really stepped up professionally, but the tour kind of stayed stagnated, and I think that's never good. I think it's always good to at least give a little step forward so people get motivated. So these days I think what demotivates more like all the riders is that tour stagnation. Same problems, things don't really change. We're hoping for this year, since there's this big change going on, we have a different format. The judging criteria is going to be a little more segmentized. They're trying to make it more perfect, you know, like getting close to perfection, which we all know it's never possible. So I think maybe for next year it will be good. I think transition always has to be slowly. And we also have a new format for new people entering the PKA, the qualifiers as we call. Usually there is one qualifier per event and then you can pick whatever you want to do. But this year we're going to have one qualifier for the whole year. So if you qualify on that event, you can do all the tour. But if you miss the opportunity, then the whole year you have to find something else to do. In a way, I think it's very good for the sport because we're getting more professional and people have to really compromise. So the people that are going to qualify, they want to do the whole tour, they want to be there. And you're going to know their faces and we're going to have name Malaikras and all of that. But it's also hard for the people that are trying to get into that level and take that next step. So I think we'll have to live through that experience to see the pros and cons, and for the future see if that was like a positive acquisition for the tour or not. I think in every sport you have a difference between men and women, that's natural, but I think in kiteboarding sometimes you see that there's not that many girls coming to the competition and growing and doing well in the sport. It's a sport that's mainly dominated by men, that's everyone knows about it, and it's very challenging as a woman to grow into that scene. I personally, at the beginning, I had to work really hard for it, and I actually like the challenge to be in a male atmosphere and like work really hard and be recognized as a woman within that. But I can see how that stops the growth of a big part of the sport, because there's so many women kite surfing these days and they're really coming into the sport, and it's a growing number, and I think that should show more into competition and girls getting sponsored. And I really think if that has a little push, there's a very big, powerful resource there between women. So this is to all the girls that kite surf. Really, I get so happy to see more and more girls out in the water. Don't be afraid. I think you really have to throw yourselves, you know, like, I think sometimes we think too much, but sometimes it's just good to go out there and give your best, and hopefully have like a girlfriend that can go with you, and you know, like you push each other. But yeah, look up for where you want to go and really go for it, because we need more girls